what they want. Sensation, horror, shock. Send them out in the streets to tell their friends how wonderful it is to be scared to death.
You're listening to Dead Zone, where a panel of paranormal experts and one total beginner gather to discuss all things paranormal. You can find Dead Zone on Facebook at facebook.com/DeadZoneX97. Hey everyone, moderator Rachel here, and I'd like to take a second to thank our engineer Dwayne for actually stepping in to fill in for me this week. The guys had a phenomenal conversation with the crew from Ames and the TV show Mountain Monsters. In fact, why don't we just get things kicked off and take a listen right now.
Wild Bill again.
Yes.
We have Huckleberry, and we have Jeff from
That's right.
the Ames team.
Yeah.
From the TV show on Destination America, Mountain Monsters.
Monsters.
Welcome, guys.
Yeah, guys, how you doing tonight?
All right. Yeah. Man, it's glad,
Sounds good. Sounds like
I'm
y'all
glad
doing
we've
good
got
down
you guys back there, and welcome back, Bill.
How you doing, Lee?
I'm doing good, brother.
Same here, bro.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Where you guys calling from tonight?
We're over, from a phone. We're over at Jeff Rose's mother's having apple pie and ice cream.
No, Bill. Bill wouldn't eat the apple pie, and we got to climb up the phone pole to get to the phone.
Green Acres, yeah, man. He just said they're having pie and ice cream. That's not what I heard off the air.
So those parts, your long-distance caller provider is whoever can yell the loudest.
I'll tell you what, right now, Mom makes us apple pie and brings it out in the field to us.
Nice.
And she delivers them right up to us, and they're dandy.
Oh, buddy.
I seen Trapper actually take one and hide it.
Anyway, what's going on tonight?
We're hanging out talking to our buds up here on this radio show.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
It's nice to have you guys on.
I'm doing a little bit of talking. I'm Dustin Coffey from Rural Indiana Paranormal.
Right.
And I've got Lee Poy with me.
Always.
And I am Matt Greenwell with
sultry voice of Matt
Parascience Investigations of Indiana.
That's right. And we're going to be talking a little bit about cryptozoology tonight. That's kind of what you guys do, isn't it?
Well, yes, it is. We do, bro.
I'm just teasing. I've seen just about every episode, if not every episode. I love the show. It's an excellent show. You guys do an awesome job.
Hoorah.
Well, thank you.
So what brings you guys to Ohio? Just going over and hanging out with family, or you guys on a case?
That's the only person we know that's got a phone.
They had to drive over from West Virginia up there in Work County and come over here to Washington County because the phone lines, they don't have an in-house phone up there.
Well, there you go.
And,
hey,
this year we got a long cord run out up the pole, but we're doing pretty good.
that's
got
dedication
lines
to a
in
friend. I appreciate you doing that.
I
for
hope
me,
the
man.
wind doesn't blow too hard.
Right.
All right, so what do you guys got? Anything interesting coming up, or what are you guys out and about? You got something going
Well,
to
if
do?
you ask a question whether we're having another season, we're going to hang the phone up.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we
got that
Excuse me.
away, didn't we? But
Boy,
anyway,
sure
we're
did.
sitting here plotting. We've been, Huckleberry has a little bit of information about Bigfoot in his area, and
Yeah, we want to hear that.
out running trap lines, and I've been working diligently on the one over at where I live in Washington County over in Lehman, but
Well, let's hear
did
about
find
that.
out something this year about cryptid creatures on Bigfoot, and I don't know whether it affected all of them or not, but when we had the eclipse, it changed the weather because it cooled the earth down,
Yep.
and that caused a climatic change. And as you know, the snow came a little bit earlier this year than it has in the last 3 or 4 years.
Right. Oh yeah.
And the tracking of that one Bigfoot that I was hunting for has been really difficult because it's changed its travel pattern.
Let's go ahead and
That was a mouthful, Jeff.
I have to hand it to you on that, brother.
let's go with that.
Hand on that, dude.
Let's go with that. Let's start with Jeff. Let's start with you. Tell us about your Bigfoot encounter.
Oh, my Bigfoot encounter?
Yes.
At Lehman?
Yes.
Well, it's been going on probably since 2006, and at that point in time, that's what took my interest because my chocolate lab came up missing, and there was this monster that had taken it, and we'd found out there was quite a few pets that were been taken in the area, and then the tracking of it led up to the first sighting in 2011 in Lehman was documented, and then in the last 4 years, we came up with quite a bit of information. Huck and Wild Bill and all of us were over in the woods of that area, and we came up with a hair off the tree, a nice footprint, and then the following year we got more footprints sent to us, and we found out that it's traveling clear over into southeast Ohio on the waterways, as we had discovered earlier in our hunts.
Now,
and then it's traveling back each year, but this year the ice was somewhat, probably 18 inches thick and pretty bulky in the Muskingum River. And I think that had a lot to do with the travel patterns, and it's been hard getting a sighting.
Now, which Bigfoot do you think that might be? I mean, you guys go after all kinds. You go after the Whistler and the Grassman and everything.
Yeah.
Which one Which one do you think that was that you're tracking, or that you had your encounter with? Or
I think he's a wholehearted relative of the Grassman.
The Grassman.
Because the sightings that I've got from him goes clear across. You're not familiar with the area, but 37 leads over into Perry County.
Right.
And the sightings I'm getting are leading to Perry County, and that would be some less than 85 miles from where I live.
Well, that's not too far to travel.
That's by the roadway, but if you take the way that the Bigfoot would travel down the waterways, it'd be much shorter.
That's nothing, yeah, right. That's no distance at all.
Would it be possible that maybe they're traveling to visit each other, or possibly traveling to share something amongst each other, or to visit?
Like some pie?
Yeah, like some, I'm not trying to make a joke out of that. It just that'd be my thought.
It has to do with the mating season.
Oh,
and it has to do with their nature habit of mating, and it has to do with their natural habit of finding something to eat.
Oh, well,
and then they have, when they were young and they were raised, because this unit over in Lehman, Ohio, is supposed to be a family unit. It's supposed to be a juvenile and a mother and a big male. And there's been separate sightings of the juvenile and the female. It was teaching it how to fish out of the Muskingum River and eat shad out of the top of the ice. And then the other one was hitting the food plots over near the deer setups in this one area that we go hunt at. Bill was trying to go hunt there this year because there's some huge bucks in there, isn't there, Bill?
Yes, sir. They've got a lot of Bigfoot evidence in that area too. Like Jess said, that they found tracks in there. Like we found the big tracks in there and done a cast molding of it, and plus Huck found the hair up there sticking up 2 foot above his head. He barely could reach it. So that Bigfoot has got to be a humongous Bigfoot. I mean, for Huck to be
7 or 8 feet tall, right? Yeah.
That's 8.5 feet.
Right.
A 20-inch length footprint. And it was like 9, 10 inches wide. Yeah.
And
remember how deep it was in the ground too? That thing had to weigh 600-800 pounds, something. Because we had no trouble distinguishing that
inch and a quarter.
Jeff Rose found it big time, man. I mean, that was awesome.
So you have that. You have the cast of that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to see that.
I'd love to see a picture of it if you guys send it to us.
Yeah, we can do that.
There you go.
Awesome.
I'll even send you the actual footprint picture in the middle of the night.
There you go.
Yeah.
Which there's 2 or 3 of those are really good.
That'd be great.
Because it had a deep impression.
If I may ask, what are your initial intentions once you come upon this creature? Like, what are your, is this investigative purposes, or, because I know a lot of paranormal investigators, they think they want to see a spirit or an entity, but a handful of them I know would drop a load in their shorts if they actually saw something that was pretty crazy. And I'm pretty positive I would turn tail and run pretty far if I seen a Bigfoot, the kind that you're describing. This guy is huge.
First thing is, he's going to have you before you get 3 steps.
Yep.
Sure.
That's for sure. But if we've talked about this time and time again, when we do catch one, all we're going to do is take what we need to prove that it exists
and let him go,
and not keep it pinned up no longer than we have to, because this creature's going to go wild when it gets trapped. It's going to tear hell out of stuff and hurt itself. We don't want to traumatize it no more than it already is.
Well, they tear the hell out of stuff just by your previous investigations.
Just coming through the area.
Right.
Well, that's just like when we caught the ash, man. There, Huck has haunted Huck for years and years. I mean, it went through the back of that trap. I mean, me and Willie spent a week in there building that trap. I mean, we had some logs in there that looked like timber that you'd saw on a sawmill. It busted through the back of that thing. It made splinters out of it. So, I mean, these creatures, they definitely got the strength and ability to tear up Jack. But like Huck and Jeff both said, I mean, we want to disprove that these creatures exist. I mean, we don't want to harm them no way. Just like the one that road team, they killed that Stony Jack. That'll never happen again. We want to just prove that these animals exist. We don't harm them nowhere, shape, or form. I think it'd be awesome. I'd probably take a whiz down my leg to walk up on a big old creature, 8, 9, 10 foot tall. It was a mammoth. I mean, I'd just stand there with my mouth open. I'd be in awe.
Sure.
Which one was it that tore up someone's uncle's van?
That was the greatest. That was the greatest. No, he traced that thing. It looked like he
trashed that thing to pieces.
Spray a grenade off on there. I mean, he was PO'd on that one. That sent old Uncle Leroy back in relapse, and he back off on the old wagon now, man, hitting the old sauce.
What you got to realize is that our initial fear of a cryptid creature was over in the first. The initial fear is over. Now it's time to stand your ground. As Huckleberry said, we're not going to run.
Right.
When I get that close to it, I'm charging it.
Yeah.
Because a Bigfoot will grunt charge you, and if you grunt charge him back, he may be really confused.
One incident I can think of, we had a creature charge us that we had to take the fence on that. Other than that, that is bogus. We're not bloodthirsty killers.
Exactly.
We're out there trying to prove that these creatures exist, and we're out there. We're no way, shape, and form we're going to harm or kill nothing.
We could have already killed one if we wanted to kill one.
Right.
Good.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Close to some of these cryptid creatures and the Bigfoot and the sheep squatch. I mean, you're talking all these creatures we've been close to. If we wanted to lay them out and just shoot them like a safari hunt, we'd have did that.
Right.
And that's out of the question to do that. We all got some hunting morals amongst all of us.
Absolutely.
And we put down one animal, and we had to put it down because he was charging us, and that was the red-eyed bear beast. Only that was a decision.
Okay.
And I'll take the blame on that one because I called the kill.
We'll hear more from the Dead Zone crew right after this on X97 WEVX. Everything that rocks.
Norwell Cells, located at 2170 North 13th Street, Suite 103. Specializing in electronics, jewelry, and home decor. Norwell Sales. Open every Monday through Friday from 12 to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Closed on Sunday. Norwell Sales. Norwell Sales can be reached by phone. 812-233-SALES. 812-233-7253. Facebook.com/Norwell Sales. Norwell Sales.
That looks perfect. Now I just need that rare collectible action figure and my collection is complete.
Epic, but it's missing something. Have you checked out Sewer Layer Toys? They buy, sell, and trade all kinds of vintage, new, and custom toys, which is what you need, right?
Give me their address and phone number.
Sewer Layer Toys, 3197 South 3rd Place in Terre Haute. You can call 812-917-4449. Hey, where you going?
To Sewer Layer Toys, I want that rare collectible action figure.
Hey, left something in your car today. Us.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Take us anywhere via the TuneIn app. X97 WEVX. Everything that rocks.
You're listening to Dead Zone on X97 WEVX. You can hit us up on social media via Facebook.com/DeadZoneX97 or via the web at www.deadzoneradio.com.
Hey, welcome back to Saturday, February 10th edition of Dead Zone. I am Dustin Coffey from Rural Indiana Paranormal alongside
Lee from Rural Indiana Paranormal.
And Matt Greenwell from Parascience Indiana, PSI.
And we have on the phone with us tonight Wild Bill, Huckleberry, and Jeff from the Ames team on Destination America's #1 show, Mountain Monsters.
Yeah, man.
And we just spent the last talk break talking with Jeff about his Bigfoot adventure going on in Ohio. And that was a very, very interesting story. You seem like you got a lot going on over that way, Jeff.
We're trying.
Right on.
It's hard to keep, and it's hard to keep it quiet.
Well, I'm sure it is. We had mentioned it. All three of you guys have between the three of you got different hunts going on between you, and we thought we'd hear from Huckleberry and see what kind of excitement he's got going on over that way.
There we go. Huck, come on, man.
Well, first off, I want to point out to everybody that when we first started all this, the only reason we carried weapons was because of all the critters that live in the woods.
Absolutely.
You know, bears, mountain lions, such like that. It wasn't to kill a Bigfoot. Now we carry them because of the rogue team.
Right.
Yeah, I had an encounter when I was about 14, 15 years old up in Work County. It haunted me for a long time. My brother and me, we actually got run out of schools because my brother would tell the story and kids would make fun of us and we'd have to move. And I wouldn't talk about it for many years. Still, sometimes I have a hard time talking about it, but
it's all right. We're here.
brothers here.
We're here, but yeah.
They helped me out. I buried a ghost. I've been chasing it hard after that. I've got several good leads. I've got some trail cameras out, game trails. I've talked to several people up there. This show has actually helped us a lot with a lot of our investigations, because now the older people know that they can trust us, that we won't make fun of them, and they open up more. They talk to us more.
That's the problem we have in our field as well. People think people won't talk with us because they're afraid we're going to make fun of them. That's not the case.
That and the fact that cryptozoology's taken on such a stronghold with television today. There are a lot of fly-by-night cats that aren't doing things professionally in the paranormal world and the cryptozoology world.
Yeah.
So for you guys to have done what you've done the last 5 or 6 years definitely shows everybody that you are trustworthy, that you are serious, and that you are there to help.
Down to home, down to earth.
Yeah, this is a passion of ours. I mean, this is our passion, is to prove that this creature exists, or any of the creatures that we go after, if nothing else, to get protection for them. And it's just a matter of time before we catch a Bigfoot. I mean, we've been so close so many times, but we're really getting into it now. It's really hard. Like I said, a lot of the people, I've had older people, 70, 80 years old, come up and say, hey, I need to talk to you, where they wouldn't talk to their own family before about what they seen.
Right.
But now, like you said, they trust us. They know that we're there. We're the real deal. They know we're not out there just to kill and maim.
Like on the, we was up in Prairie County, on the Grassman. I mean, in Huck, them moonshiners up there, they come together and confronted us as weapons. And I mean, Huck.
Oh, yeah. I know. I remember.
Later, that guy walked down with a loaded shotgun right in Huck's face. Now, I'm telling you, boys, you can talk how bad you want to. Now, when you meet a man with a loaded weapon, he got pointed at you, he means business. Now, them moonshiners wouldn't let nobody in there, and they told us, we don't want you in there. Well, I tell you what, it took us a bunch of work. It took Huck a bunch of work. Be friend of them guys, get in there just like he was saying there. I mean, before, them people wouldn't even talk. Old Big Huck, he got in there, he built their confidence, they seen what we was all about, and befriended him. We got evidence on that Grassman stuff that nobody had never got just because of Huck.
Right. And come to find out, he was coming in there eating a mash.
Got everything worked out.
Yeah, a lot of fruit jar recycling.
Well, you had to have a meeting.
Yeah. Huck's always knows where all good liquor's made.
There you go.
Blue Flame.
I know.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Nice Blue Flame.
Good Blue Flame. And what Lee pointed out that you guys ended up finding out that he was coming in and eating mash.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a mean drunk.
There you go. Aren't we all?
Yeah.
I think we all are, aren't we?
No, I'm peaceful.
Well, that's
everything likes eating mash.
Yeah,
that's good.
Doesn't particularly like it after Huckleberry urinated on it. It wouldn't even attempt to eat it then, and it ran off, and it was the only way we could get the Bigfoot off our trail.
There you go.
And thank God Trapper was thinking about how bad Huckleberry's urine smells, and had him wet on it, because that took care of it and kind of saved her life that night.
Now,
as they say, piss on it and it'll work out.
Was it?
Was the asparagus?
When we stole his mash.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did get mad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He came in camper and tore up Jack. Annihilated her.
Yeah, and that was one of the nights when it got like 10 below.
Yeah, we had to hunker down that night because he came in and trashed the camp. Trashed. Some of those logs flying through there. We had him upset.
Now you're talking about urine. Now was it that urine or was the sheep squatch urine that got in trouble?
Oh yeah.
Was it Huck's?
Yeah, buddy.
I consider myself a fair operator of a thermal camera, and if I tell you that tree limb's growing and there's stuff drip, just glowing and dripping on the ground.
But that was Huck's, not the sheep squatch. Huck peed on a tree.
I hate to interrupt you guys, but I got to tell you this because it wasn't on the show. When Trapper got that in his eyes, I'm trying to keep eye on everything behind us.
Yeah.
And I told Buck and Jeff to get him out of here. Well, one took one arm and one took the other arm and helped hold him up and lead him out. Well, there was a tree there about 6 inches round. Buck went on one side of the tree and Jeff went on the other side of the tree, and Trapper didn't make it.
Well, there you go. You heard it here on the Dead Zone.
Yeah,
that's right.
I tell you what, we've had some interesting hunts.
I think the hardest ones are the water animals that are near the water and in the water.
I hate them.
Fire demon.
Pocahontas, fire dragon. I mean,
Lizard demon.
Lizard demon. Absolutely impossible when they're in the water, and I'm one. I don't like it.
So, what's your opinion on the lizard demon? What do you think that actually is?
Really, what it is? Exactly.
What do you think it actually is? I mean,
we live here in the area.
Yeah.
And that lizard demon will come up out, and it'll have blue mud on it.
Yeah.
And blue mud is from the deepest part of the river.
Right.
And the creek, and that creature can blend in. And where we were at, up in that little blind hollow, where we did the interview with Mark, those scratch marks on that, horrific. And see, it's one of the type of creatures that doesn't draw. It's not feline. Those claws are out all the time.
Right.
And that's a dangerous creature.
Oh, yeah.
You have to figure the age of it. How old is it really? And is there more than one?
Is there more than one? Yeah,
Because,
absolutely. Yeah.
I used to see a lot of gators when I worked down south.
Me too.
To watch one of them take something off bank, out of the water, they just slither up there, and you'll never know that thing's there.
And it hits you, and it's gone.
This lizard demon could do the same thing to you.
That's kind of what I was leading to. Yeah.
When it bit that whole side, big hole in the boat there, and we was coming up you remember we was coming up up there. I mean, it's pitch dark black, and that little old John boat. I mean, that thing can easily dump that boat in water.
Oh, yeah.
And then come in on bank, and that thing, it's got a mouth on it the size of probably a 12 or 14 foot gator. Bit that whole. It looked like you took a metal can opener around the front of that boat. That thing would bite a man in half.
Right.
That's insane. And it was smart enough to know that you're talking about a creature that has some intelligence about it, because, you know, if it flips your boat over, you're going to clean the boat out, you're going to get back in the boat and continue your hunt. Now, if he bites a hole in your boat, that just puts you out of commission on your boat. So,
and if you'd have seen actually been there in person and seen the size of that Abe that we interviewed with his buddy.
Oh my God!
I mean, that guy was in fear of his life, and he was a big person. I mean, a good head taller than me.
I felt small standing next to him.
Yeah, he was.
That boy, he was a horse. He was a horse.
And he was scared to death. They wouldn't even get back in that boat. They said, we're done. They was fishing. It knocked the boat plumb sideways, about flipped it over, and he said, I don't think we're going to get back to bank. He said, I thought we was done. I mean, that guy was standing, when they was interviewing him, I mean, absolutely shaking.
That would be a pretty traumatic experience for the guy that doesn't do this on the everyday, I guess.
I'll tell you, hunting these creatures, it's not for the weak of heart, but like Jeff was saying, we've been close to them. I mean, one of them roar, and I mean, it'll stand the hair on your head, and be so close to them. I mean, you can feel the breath. I mean, now, burst, yeah. It'll get your attention, I assure you that. But now, I mean, we're just like, the more you do something, the more relaxed you get with it. I mean, it's a job. It's our.
I don't know if you ever get relaxed, Bill.
It'll keep your attention. I guarantee you.
I don't think it's a good idea to get too relaxed
for the old body, because it'll keep you alive, and it'll definitely keep you focused. But
man,
I mean, it's our job. I mean, we're in a sense to say we're kind of lax with it. But when you get in there and one of them, you got him in a cage or something, or trap, and that thing, he comes alive. I assure you one thing, it ain't for the weak of heart, and it will definitely get your undivided attention.
Yeah.
And, you know, the woman of the woods is one thing that's always really stuck with me. It scared me. Because that night that I did where I was trying to ward her off and take and challenge her in the little hut and do the type of ceremony that needed to get her driven away. It's hard to believe that I walked off at that night and under her control, and then I'd say that was the night that she put the skull up my nose.
Right. And on that note, we're going to take another break, and we're going to come back and hear more about the skull up Jeff's nose.
Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's edition of Dead Zone. I am Dustin from Rural Indiana Paranormal, alongside
Lee and Matt from Parascience. How you guys doing?
That's right, and we have Wild Bill, Huckleberry, and Jeff from the Ames team, stars on the Mountain Monsters, Destination America's #1 show.
#1 show, absolutely.
And we, before the break, were talking about a skull up the nose.
Yeah.
And I'd like to get into this a little bit more if we could.
How'd they get up there?
That was really interesting.
That's $100 question.
Yeah,
I know, right?
I don't know how it got there.
I believe after I've went through what I went through, it came up that the conclusion is when I faced off with her in the woods, that when I walked off in like a trance and followed her through the woods, and then I was up against that tree and had that blood all over me, that's when...
right. See, no one knows.
She'd done
it wasn't on camera.
Yeah.
Right.
To possess me.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It is.
Well, you know, and I guess there's a few other places.
The proof of it, the knowing, the finding out it was there, man, I'll tell you what, Buck put his life on the line to find out what was wrong with me.
Right.
And then the extraction that these boys did right here, only they can tell you about the real pain, because I had never experienced anything like that in my entire life, and I hope to never.
Didn't hurt me one bit, Jeff.
Huckleberry has some belief that I have another skull located somewhere.
I think he said something related to that a little bit earlier.
Orifice on his body.
Are you walking funny?
I don't pull that one out.
Man Willie was assistance on that, removing that skull.
He's all I mean. You got your head up there, yeah.
I've been around Jeff Rowe and all his team members for the last 5 years. And
you guys are awesome.
I've seen some of them in pain and stuff, but I'm telling you something. When Huck told him, said, Jeff, something up your nose, buddy. We got to get it.
Yeah.
And me and Willie held him down. I was on one side and Willie on the other. And I seen Huck sticking that forceps far up. I mean, it looked like it was going under 6 inches.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, he got a hold up. I mean, and son, the blood pointed run down on my hand. You can see it right there. And Willie's holding him down. And Jeff Rowe is like holding down a grizzly bear. I'm telling you something, boys. That is no joke. I was right there. Me and Willie was providing. We was the scrub nurses, the PIs, the physician assistant. Huck was top surgeon. We got her.
That's awesome.
Jeff Rowe's good to go. I mean, he was. I mean, that woman of the woods with that skull in his nose. I mean, he wasn't the same Jeff Rowe. I mean, he was.
Right.
He was out there.
And for those that
out of him.
Oh, you're kidding me.
It messed with his mind, and that thing was pretty far up in his nose. I was about half scared to go any farther, but.
I thought he was going to bring some brain parts out on that.
He couldn't afford to lose much.
Not very many of them, anyway. Like me, he ain't got nothing hardly nothing to start with.
Yeah, how he got up there, I mean, you know.
No one
that's
knows.
The only thing that Jeff can figure out when it happened. But,
that'll be for later on down the road someday.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll find that out.
What you got to realize is that the vigilante contact that we had with the mask that wanted us to go after the woman of the woods and bring her back, it's in my mind that I wonder what's happened to him, or a family person, or what's going on with him and the woman of the woods. Does he have nosebleed? Has he been called there? Has he not broken the into the where they live at the Austin camps and the Three Rings, and maybe he's not aware of all that's there, and
or maybe,
I seem to think, and we've all discussed it, there's something there.
Maybe he knows, and he's relying on you guys to do the job for him. You know, I don't know.
Right. Yeah, he's wanting us to do the dirty work.
Right.
He's
exactly.
Us to catch her.
Right.
And I do not trust this dude one step. I've made that point quite clear from the beginning, the first time we ever had any dealings with him.
Right.
I don't trust him. I don't know why, but I've always went with my gut instinct, and it's worked for many years. But he's definitely after something. We just have to figure out what it is he wants.
And he says,
well,
he's going to say he's going to give you the guys that kill the Stonish Giant too, right?
Yeah. But I think that he's in cahoots with that road team, because I'm telling you something, they've been a pain in our side ever since we right after we started this. I mean, they're wanting to ride our shirt tails in here to get all this evidence, but just like they got in there and they killed that Stonish Giant. I mean, that won't happen again.
And the Black Wolf.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm like Cuck. I don't trust that dude. That dude behind the mirror. I don't. Like he's wanting to make a deal with us. Deliver him Woman of the Woods. And he'll deliver us who killed the Stonish Giant and the body of it. Now, I mean, if he was in cahoots, the road team's the one that took that Stonish Giant out. Right. So I'm saying he's in cahoots with them.
Well, in my opinion, I'm just thinking that the rogue team are his henchmen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're talking about the Black Wolf there?
We don't have no proof that they ever killed it.
Yeah.
Well, I recall. I remember.
I remember.
I remember.
Yeah, we watched them load the body and everything up.
I remember it was either, I think it was Jeff. Was it Jeff? Or was that?
Jeff.
It might have been Jeff, or no, it might have been Buck. They said they shot the Black Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah, they come on the radio. That other team that was in there come on the radio and said that. But they was, at that point in time, Jethro was bleeding like a stuck hog. And
I thought he was shot in the face.
Up. I mean, you could have stuck a feather up somewhere and they thought the buzzard was after.
Well, when we found Jethro leaned up against that tree at night, he was bleeding like a stuck hog. I thought him. I saw him. I said, we can get him out before he bleeds out, man.
He thought he was shot in the face.
As the stress increased on that hunt, the bleeding increased, and then I started blacking out, and all I heard was gunshots, and they had him cornered. They had it cornered, and I'll specify, they said they had it cornered, and then the gunshots, and I just assumed that they'd shot in the...
Okay, I get it.
All right,
Okay, that makes sense.
True is something that can't be killed.
Right.
When we got to you, you just kept saying, they killed him.
Right.
And
well, he was out of it.
Yeah, I know he's out of it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm out of it.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But you got to look at the end of it where Huckleberry confronted that.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that too.
Wolf
Yeah, we're going to ask about that.
And if anybody was going to put an animal down with a knife, it would have happened that night.
Right.
Because I've never seen Huckleberry like that in my entirety.
That right there brings up one of the questions.
The Black Wolf is the same one. I'm sorry, I'm lost in that. See, we disagree because we don't know the answer.
Right.
When we come in that cabin at night and you hit that cave bar out, it looked like you'd cut you'd cut something's head off with all that blood.
Oh yeah.
And you today ain't no. It just looked like the heat wave coming at me.
Right. Now that you say that, can I bring something up which kind of puzzled me in the beginning? There was the shadow creature, basically the same definition, right?
Yeah.
It was like the heat waves. It was like basically a predator from the movies, right? You know what I mean? You could make out the form, but it was transparent and it was kind of wavy, right?
Right. Yeah.
And that particular episode where Huck had to battle this thing, it sounded like the same thing. Now, do you think there might be a connection there?
I guess maybe.
Well, this dark forest, nothing surprises me there. Jeff's always said that, make sure I get the right words, that the Bigfoot and extraterrestrial aliens,
Extraterrestrial.
Yeah. See, you can't even say.
It's confidentiality.
Run together. And that they may be a portal.
Right.
Wherever.
Right. Now,
so, anything can happen there.
I'm just thinking it sounded so similar.
Nothing surprises me in the dark forest at all.
Right. It sounded so similar. It's like, oh my God, maybe that was the same thing or something.
And, I've never seen that movie. I've had the guys tell me about that movie, Predator. But yeah, I've never seen it personally. I don't watch a whole lot
basically
of TV.
What you described was what the Predator was.
But, what you see is what you see.
Right. And
I try not to exaggerate things.
Right.
I try to keep a rational mind. Right. If I run, the whole world's right behind me, and I'm not a very fast runner, so, the first one to die.
Well,
when
we come through that door in that cabin, and you was down sitting there, and with that cave bar blood all over it, it looked like you had the hell beat out of you.
Yeah, that was bad. Hey, guys, we're gonna have to take another break, and we're gonna come right back. We're gonna come back talking with Jeff Huckleberry, and Wild Bill from the Ames team.
That's right, on Dead Zone.
We'll hear more from the Dead Zone crew right after this on X97 WEVX. Everything that rocks.
Norwell Cells, located at 2170 North 13th Street, Suite 103. Specializing in electronics, jewelry, and home decor. Norwell Sales. Open every Monday through Friday from 12 to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Closed on Sunday. Norwell Sales. Norwell Sales can be reached by phone. 812-233-SALES. 812-233-7253. Facebook.com/Norwell Sales. Norwell Sales.
That looks perfect. Now I just need that rare collectible action figure and my collection is complete.
Epic. but it's missing something. Have you checked out Sewer Layer Toys? They buy, sell, and trade all kinds of vintage, new, and custom toys, which is what you need, right?
Give me their address and phone number.
Sewer Layer Toys, 3197 South 3rd Place in Terre Haute. You can call 812-917-4449. Hey, where you going?
To Sewer Layer Toys. I want that rare collectible action figure.
It's the only station. The horses in your head.
Get a grip on! Oh, now see, I think that's a neat idea.
X97 WEVX. Everything that rocks.
You're listening to Dead Zone on X97 WEVX. You can hit us up on social media via Facebook.com/DeadZoneX97 or via the web at www.deadzoneradio.com.
Hey, you're back to Dead Zone on WEVX X97, everything that rocks. I am Dustin with Rural Indiana Paranormal. Alongside I have
Lee from Rural Indiana Paranormal.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Matt from PSI. Guys, I got to tell you, it has been a blast.
Absolutely.
Tonight.
If you listeners, you guys are kind of getting the short end of the stick because we get to hear all the funny stuff that can't be said on the air. In between, or we got to listen to music. We're listening to the great stuff.
Only imagine, listeners. Only imagine.
That's right. And for those of you just tuning in, shame on you, first off.
Yeah.
And second off, we're talking with Wild Bill, Huckleberry, and Jeff from the Ames team. On Destination America's #1 show, Mountain Monsters.
Mountain Monsters.
Thanks again, fellas, for having us or being on our show with us and hanging out with us for the last bit of an hour or so.
Has it been that long?
Just about.
Has it been that long?
We're getting there. So
wow.
we had discussed while the music was going. Touching real quick back on to Wild Bill's experience with the grass man.
Yeah, we had him on. We had him on
a few weeks ago. Yeah,
a couple of weeks ago, and he touched on that. We just want you to just kind of briefly tell us a little bit more about that.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, could we just take a minute here, and we want to thank all the fans that's been behind us all these years.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys.
Absolutely.
We just want to thank all of them for listening.
Wouldn't be a show without fans.
That's right, man. It's you guys have an excellent reputation for taking care of your fans, and just no matter what you're doing, stopping and talking,
being good
and
people.
taking a picture,
real people.
and just being excellent, real down to earth people.
Yes,
and you guys have an excellent reputation for that.
Absolutely.
So,
that's who we are, brother.
That's right.
Okay.
Right on.
And thank you for your service for this country, also, gentlemen.
And
yes, sir.
And Huckleberry.
Huckleberry also. Oh, Huckleberry also.
Huckleberry too,
Me and him
buddy.
both jarheads. United States Marine Corps. Hoorah!
Hoorah! All right.
You talking about that grass man?
That grass man,
quite an adversary. I mean, we not only went after him one time, but 3 times. That I'm telling you what, he is quite an adversary. I mean, we got our hind ends kicked 3 different times going after that grass man. I assure you one thing: when you pursue that you better have all your ducks in a row. You better have your everything in order. Because if not, you're gonna get your old rear end handed to you.
Yeah, that's for sure. And you better be expecting a fight when you come upon him, though, right?
Oh well, it's just like when we was going up in that holler at Moonshiners. I mean, we was in a side by side, and we're going up there in Trapper, just laying about that thing. We're going up the holler, and the next thing you know, there's probably about 300-pound boulder, balloon right inside that poor that side. I mean, it come an ace, upsetting that with all us in it. And we started bailing out. I jumped up on the side of it and was trying to hold my weight on it to keep from rocking it over, flipping it over. And about that time, here come a big limb flying through there, whacked Trapper in the head. Down he went.
Yep.
I mean, it was on. I mean, and then Willie threw a couple of rounds in the air, and I mean, it just come to a cease for a minute or two. Remember that? Yeah.
Now, didn't the Midnight Whistler did the same thing to you guys, right?
He won't back down from you. I assure you that.
The Midnight.
That is a written guarantee from old Wild Bill, the Ames team. I mean, we'd come up over there, and we was coming up. We had that minefield laid out there, and had them like a foot track set to catch it. I mean, we had big, gigantic semi-rims steel tire rims in that ground, had them anchored, he jerked that thing out of the ground like it would have weighed 5 pounds and slung it right through the windshield. I don't see how somebody can get killed that night.
Yeah.
I mean, he tore up Jack that night. I mean, it busted right through that windshield. I'm surprised it'll come through there and demolish somebody's head or something. Now, you
guys have gotten lucky quite a few times. I mean, with the sheep squatch, you got rammed by the sheep squatch, right? I know Trapper did, right?
I was addressing that early because our fear number has raised over the years. And, it's like Huckleberry was in the front seat of that side-by-side when Grassman threw that wheel through there.
Right.
Wasn't he, Huckleberry?
Yep. All I could do is sit and watch until we got stopped.
But also, I've been looking back through things, and with this rogue team and some of the other things that have came about, I found out that I haven't been getting a photo ID from all of our witnesses. So then that puts me in a theory that maybe this rogue team had implanted herself in our witness system long before we knew anything was going on.
Right. So you're getting, oh dude, yeah. We're gonna have to do that on another show. You guys want to come back on another show? We're gonna have to go to the Q&A if that's okay. Is that all right?
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Okay, well here's number one from one of your buddies, one of the people that manage one of the sites is Mark Warren. He wants to know, this is for Huck, season 4, episode 12. The envelope says Huck says he's banned from 3 states and 2 county fairs. Why is that?
Well, I used to be quite ornery.
Well, let's hear about it. Is that all right?
I'm banned from the fairs for fighting and streaking.
For what?
And 2 states they just don't like for me to come back in, and the other one they told me if they ever caught me there, they'd put me under the jail.
Oh, man.
Now that's all back when I used to partake in a lot of hard drinking. And carousing. But now I've got a hobby, and it's running through the woods with brother men right now.
With some hard drinking friends? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And they're all over 45 pounds.
Yeah. And there is a joke there, but we can't say it.
Okay.
All right.
At that.
Okay.
So the answer is fighting and drinking and fighting.
Drinking and
drinking.
Yeah, that's what the Marines do.
Well, there you go.
I see a pattern, right?
Yeah, that's the way it is.
Well, why did the Marine Corps spend all that money to teach me to fight if I didn't use it?
There you go. Right? Absolutely.
That's right. That's a good enough.
Okay, here's one more from Mark Warren. He says, which creature scared you the most and why? I'm guessing it's going to be what we just talked about, but,
the Grassman.
You take it from there.
Yeah, Grassman, wouldn't you say?
I'd say the Grassman, and then I'd also lay out the Snallygaster.
Snallygaster
out there. Because I put the flying creatures right in the same bowl with those animals in the water. Okay? Because that flying creature, all you heard was, and it was there. It was on top of you.
There and going, yeah.
If Trapper left the eggs alone that night, we wouldn't have been where we were at.
Yeah, you stole the damn egg.
Yes.
It's all Trapper's fault.
Yeah.
It's all Trapper's fault.
Well, I'm sure he'll love to hear that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Poor
we was on him about it. I'm telling you, son, them things dive bombed us. It looked like birds. Well, I don't know what it looked like, but it sounded like a flock of birds was attacking us the whole time. Only these birds weighed probably 300-400 pounds,
And they turned around as soon as you got off the top of that mountain.
The lucky part was when we dropped in altitude, running like scared. I mean, scared like you've never seen, running in the side-by-side from them. When we got to lower altitude, they stopped.
It's just like they broke off.
Right, they broke around away.
They chased us out, and that's all they was worried about.
That was their only concern, yeah. Getting you out of their area.
Yeah. Well, have you ever pissed off a blue jay on the nest?
Yes. And so was my cat. And I saw my cat get his butt
this blue jay was very big.
Yeah, he was on steroids.
And they were probably, well, we know of at least 3.
Pterodactyls.
Yeah.
Pterodactyl, yeah.
That's what it looked like. Yeah. Yeah.
Do we have any more questions there, Lee?
Well, I'm trying to find them here. I'm on my cell phone, and I can't really see anything because I'm old and blind. But there were a lot of people that said that wanted to make sure that there were a lot of people that wanted to make sure that I told you that they love you guys, and you know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they cannot wait to see you somewhere. I think another one was, another one was, Jeff, where do you get your research from when you go out on these investigations?
I want to thank you here on this one.
Yes.
Because, first of all, I want to place an apology out to Alyssa.
Alyssa,
Remember when you
yes.
told me to call her?
Yeah,
and
she's
she
a
gave me her
sweetheart,
phone
dude.
number, and she wanted to know how I did my research.
Right.
Okay, I want to admit right now I never called her.
Yeah.
And not because I didn't want to.
Right.
But my type of investigative research is different than any other, and it's been quite successful.
Yes.
I have the track record to prove it.
Right.
And I'm sticking my chest out and bragging. Because in the beginning, we didn't think it would work that way. But the research begins clear down with a county plat map. And then I'm at the courthouse, because there's records. You go to the DNR, and there's records, and there's deputy sheriffs have had crazy calls. And sometimes in an area when we get like a single call, I'll check with the authorities, and then we'll move from there. And then the Farm Bureau that has the animal attacks, unbeknownst to the DNR, have records of those. And that's something else a lot of people don't realize, that they report their cattle. Sometimes they don't know what it is, because we've got a lot of big wolves. And the research is hard to explain, but it's a piece at a time, and it's a huge puzzle. Then you'll get something over clear off to the side that relates to something else, and then that's when you do an interview, a pre-interview, which I do nowadays with these witnesses.
And that takes a while, doesn't it?
That's why you see me not ask a lot of questions on when we're filming, because I might already ask that, and then I'll have one of the other guys, we'll discuss this before we go, and they'll ask that question. And then I'll look at them, and I'll get a visual response in their face whether I believe them or not.
Right.
And we've been doing that a lot. But the research is pretty neat. When you start pinning it up, putting it on a board, and start getting that county, and then start getting the waterways, and start getting the altitudes, and you start getting the maps and putting it all together, I mean, it just falls together. And it's just all common sense.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
I always say I'm a junk dealer. Okay? Well, I've had a lot of stories over my lifetime told me. Old Mr. Jones lives up on a hill, and he rides his Indian motorcycle to the mailbox every day.
I wish I had an Indian. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Gotta
a
have
killer motorcycle.
that story down and prove it to be real.
Right.
And that's the same thing we're doing here.
Right.
These creatures move all the time. It's a lot of times that we'll say we hunt a creature with research in this area, and then they'll come on and they'll dispute it, and they'll say it's a lie, it's no good. These people don't know what the hell they're doing. They're a bunch of damn fakes and everything. Well, what they don't understand is that creature's moved from a different area to there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It might have been 4 or 5 years worth of research, and you got a pack full of files, and every time you get something, you have to write a crib note on it. But
right.
Not only that, the big thing is when you're writing these crib notes is to date them. And get a calendar, then you have to do the weather, you have to do the time of the year, you have to do all that. Depends on what's going on with these creatures, because their mind is set by the weather and how they
migrate.
And
it's
where
just
they
like every
travel
other
and when
animal.
they move.
Migrate. Yeah. Right? Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, Lee.
Hey, bud.
Let me elaborate on this. I tell you what, Jeffro, he had a thing one time made up that said brains aims, and that's true. Jeffro, I mean, he puts in hours and hours. I was seeing him come in one day. I come over to his house there, and he had the whole table, and I mean, I said, I'll see you at it. And he had the whole table, a big 8 or 10 foot table covered just in nothing but papers, and he just going back through there doing research. I mean,
absolutely, yeah.
He is definitely the brains of this team.
Well, that's what you have to do, man. If you're going to be serious, that's what you have to do.
That's right.
Absolutely.
I mean, there is nobody going to top this man doing research.
I believe you 100%, man.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And the research gets the job done.
And it's just like our other big jarhead over here, security. I'm damn sure glad he's got my back in some of these situations.
Gotta love Huck.
It's the fan. That's for sure. It's for sure a team effort.
He saved our old tail several times. So, man, it's awesome working with these two dudes. One of the awesomest things I've ever done in my life. I just want them to know that, and everybody out here on this station know that it's awesome working with these birds.
Hey, that's amazing. There's nothing like having a little fun working with your best pals. Hey, guys,
let's not get too carried away. Nobody said anything about best pals.
Hey, guys, with that being said,
there's a lot of stuff that Jeff does that people never see. There's a lot of things that Bill and me and Willie and Buck do that people never see. You know, we go out maybe weeks before we ever go to a certain site and scout it out. You have to know the lay of the land.
Well, that's what you do when you go on a hunt. You have to go out and scout.
Just as quick as anything that you hunt.
Absolutely.
Trust me. Been places where if you slipped on the wrong rock, you go 100 foot before you ever get anything.
Hey, guys, that's right. That's a team effort.
And, Bill, I've already talked to April, and before too long, I'm going to come down there, and you and I are going to go out and go hunting the wampus. How about that?
Come on, bring it on, brother.
I'm coming, brother. I'm coming, brother. Now, on that note, we're gonna have to leave. We're out of time.
We're getting the nods from the higher up that we're taking too much time. But you know what? Man. We could stay here and talk with you guys for hours. And with that being said, we would love to have you guys on a future show if you're more than willing to come back on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just let us know.
And where can our listeners find you on Facebook or the internet or wherever they can find you?
Work County. I don't have Facebook, internet, or none of that.
If they want to talk, if they want to get in touch with us,
I'm not on there much, and every time I'm on there, I get several pops on there wanting to know about the new season, and I'm in this.
No, we're not. No, we don't.
As soon as you guys know something about that, everybody.
If anyone wants to know what's going on with the guys, you can go to their official site, which I run, and they are administrators of www.ames. What is it now? I forgot it already.
I don't remember.
Good Lord.
AimsGear.com got the biggest damn best.
Well, that's true. That's the merch site, not the Facebook site. You can go.
It's Facebook.com/Ames.
Okay, no, that's not it. But if you go to the gear site, there's a Facebook link.
Yeah,
we'll
the gear site, AimsGear.com.
Just like the truth, they're out there somewhere.
Damn,
right. And you can find us at Facebook.com/DeadZoneX97.
I think we've drank all of the whiskey now.
No kidding, right?
Thank you, guys.
You can find the station at Facebook.com/X97 WEVX. This has been your Saturday night edition of Dead Zone. I'm Dustin Coffey from World Indiana Paranormal. And this is Lee Poi.
We've drank too much. Yeah, anyway. Yeah.
Lee Poi from Royal Indiana Paranormal, and we have alongside Matt.
Yeah, Matt Greenwell, PSI.
And thank you all for tuning in. Thanks again, guys, for being guests on this wonderful show. We've had a blast. Thank you so much. And until next week, keep it cryptid.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, same here. Everybody take care.
Gonna have you back, man.
That wraps up this week's edition of Dead Zone. You can catch new episodes every Saturday at 6 p.m. and replays every Sunday at 5 p.m. You can also check out past episodes at deadzoneradio.com.